Like, you're a human being, not a human doing. And that really resonated with me, especially when my identity was so tied to my accomplishments, to the sport I was doing, to being an athlete, and just remembering like, no, I'm a human being, not a human doing. There was, Jamie Anderson. She was a rider who she rides, just the way she rides, it's effortless. So she's still the best snowboarder, and she was the best snowboarder before I started competing. So for her to be still competing against these like young kids and like still make it look so easy is just, it's just insane, mind-boggling to me. And I always thought it was funny because we both were Billabong athletes, and I always would order the same gear as her, not on purpose, but because that was like my favorite jacket combo would always end up being the same stuff that she had. So I'd show up at the same competitions as her and have to compete against her in the same gear. And I just always felt like I was such a fangirl, but it really is just like the comfiest stuff. But yeah, so she's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely that run that I landed when I was 17 at that competition that I had lost the year before, because my mom, unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it to the competition. I think she was working or something, but my dad was there and my brother was there, and he actually, like, the competition course itself is roped off until like after the last feature, and then you kind of ride out and you can ride back down the rest of the mountain kind of with everyone else. And my brother was skiing down the side of the run. And so after I landed that last jump, I knew, like, I was like, I've seen what everyone else was doing all day. And I was like, I was pretty sure, like, wow, if I landed that, like, that could win it. And so I was like, I landed it. And I just remember like being so in the flow state and then coming out, and like my brother, like, we have such a brother-sister relationship where we're always chirping each other, but like when it really matters, like, we care for each other and we're there. And so he like high-fived me, and like we just like rode the rest of the run down, just like so pumped and so excited, because like he knew like that could have been the winning run too. And like that was just such a really cool moment. You know, someone like Serena Williams, like, she's been competing forever, and she's always just been so inspiring of, you know, how she carries herself, how she's expressed her emotions, and it's like opened the door for a lot of women athletes to not feel like they need to like repress their emotions when they're playing. They can like be confident, they can scream, like you can just be yourself in whatever sport you're doing. And then what she's doing now, you know, in the business side and different things, it inspires me. So I would say she's someone who's I've always kind of like looked up to throughout my career, and she's someone who's, you know, still crushing it at what she's doing. I think just make an impact on the next generation of women athletes, whether that's from the business side of, you know, working in creating content, working in investing in different women's sports ventures, things like that. That's definitely big goals of mine, or making an impact through my own career and sharing my journey, and sharing different lessons and also like mistakes that I've made along the way. Hopefully that can make a little bit of an impact as well. Yeah, something my aunt said to me, she's like, you're a human being, not a human doing. And that really resonated with me, especially when my identity was so tied to my accomplishments, to the sport I was doing, to being an athlete, and just remembering like, no, I'm a human being, not a human doing. It's like who I am, and just experiencing and living life that like really matters more than, you know, judging myself or my worth based on my output or my title or the certain role or whatever that is. And so I think that's something that can help anyone, but especially athletes who get so closely tied to their results, to the team that they're on, to how many playing minutes they're getting, to how many gold medals they have, to where they're at in their career, or just to being an athlete in general, is like, just remember you're a human being, not a human doing.